and you will never be as decorated, and you will never compare to King Solomon. It's impossible. Let's just say for the sake of argument, for this time, let's just say for the sake of argument, that you could amount to King Solomon. Let's say you could have your dreams, you could have the money and the wisdom and the power. Even at that point, listen, even at that point, you would not be satisfied. Ecclesiastes 1:14, I have seen all, not some, all the things that are done under the sun, and all of them are meaningless. The man who had everything is now saying that all is meaningless. What a scary reality. I mean, really, what do we have to look forward to in life if everything on this earth is vanity? Does it not bother you? I mean, what's the point of your life if everything is worthless? Think about the thousands of hours that you've studied for tests and written papers. Think about the hundreds of hours that you have put in working. And think about the tens of thousands of hours you will work in your lifetime. Is it not depressing to think that when you add up the total number of hours, the sum of the hours, the total meaning is zero? Let me say that again. When you add up all the hours of work and all the efforts of this world, when you put it all together, the sum total equals zero. Let me challenge you with this question. What is your goal in life? What is your dream in life? What do you want to fulfill in your life? Does your goal exist to bring you glory or God glory? Mark 8, verse 35 and 36. For whoever desires to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake and for the gospel's will save it. For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world, yet loses his soul? If you have a worldly perspective, guys, listen to me, look at me, wake up. If you have a worldly perspective and you are living for this world, then your entire existence is absolutely insignificant. If you are living for this world and you have a worldly perspective, then your entire existence is insignificant. If, however, you are living in light of eternity and for eternity, even the most insignificant, even the most mundane, minute, day-to-day accomplishments become grandiose and magnificent. You are either living for time on this earth or you're living for eternity. Now, one fact that you must realize about this great King Solomon, one fact that you must get into your head, is that he has been dead for almost 3,000 years. For 3 millenniums, for 30 centuries, for 300 decades, he has been rotting underground. Today, as Seth so eloquently did, I want to draw your attention to the shortness of life and the brevity of life and how it relates to the immense reality of eternity. Do you remember the man that I mentioned at the beginning of the message? Kenneth Arredondo. The personal trainer, the one who was good looking, fit, popular, handsome, beautiful wife. About 5 years ago, the year 2006, he developed a pain in his shoulder. And he didn't know what the pain was. Rocky tells the story that one day he handed his daughter Peyton and he was unable to hold Peyton. This muscular guy was unable to hold Rocky's baby girl. He started having trouble lifting weights. He wasn't effective at the gym. So he went to the doctor, but there were no answers. He went back to the doctor, no answers. No one could figure out what was wrong with Kenneth. Time went on and his condition worsened. He continued to have trouble lifting weights and he started to lose weight. He started to lose lots of weight. He didn't look like the same person. He would lift weights and they would decline and decline and decline, and the pain in his arms would increase. But no one could figure out what was wrong. Fast forward to the year 2010, around that time, things continued to get worse. He would have trouble shaking your hand. He would have trouble lifting his head. He had a little baby boy. He had trouble holding his son. It was almost impossible for him to hold his son. It hasn't been confirmed, but most people think Kenneth Arredondo suffered from ALS disease or Lou Gehrig's disease. On Friday, May 13th, our brother Kenneth Arredondo went to be with the Lord. He left behind a wife and a 10-month-old son. At the age of 34, Kenneth passed from this life into eternity. The man that was once a personal trainer, the epitome of good-looking and well-loved, is now dead and he's gone. He will never have a chance to hold his wife's hand. He will never have a chance to lift any weights, and he will never have a chance to hold his son in his arms. Mark Ortiz, 1 year ago, found out that he had a brain tumor. Doctor said, you must get that removed. You must get that operated on. Mark decided he would go holistic. He decided he would go with homemade remedies. He wanted to get rid of the brain tumor by himself. He canceled appointment after appointment after appointment, thinking that the tumor would disappear. The doctors urged him, you must get rid of it. But he didn't. Fast forward, last Sunday night, Mark was a bouncer, and real late one night he texted his wife and he said, Mahalia, I'm not feeling well, and I need you to make me a nice big breakfast when I get home. So like a good wife, Mahalia made him breakfast. The hours went on, 7, 8, 9, no sign of Mark. She thought he was just hanging out. She started to get worried around noon, so she contacted the police, and the police found him about a block from his house, in his car, very dazed and confused, not knowing where he was. He had had an aneurysm, and the tumor had popped. They rushed him to the hospital, but by the time he got there, and they got him on life support, all brain function and activity was dead. And like our dear brother, Kenneth Arredondo, they had to pull the plug. 1 week ago today, at 2:45 on August the 5th, Mark Ortiz went to be with the Lord. Now, as sad as this is, and as many tears as this brings to our face, this is the truth, and this is reality. There will come a day when you and I will be 6 feet underground. James 4:14, what is your life? It is a mist that appears for a little time, then vanishes. You walk outside on a cold February morning with your gloves and your hat and your scarf on, and you breathe, and what do you see? You see fog. You see mist. But what about that mist? It's gone in the snap of a finger. It's gone in the blink of an eye. That is our life. You sit around a campfire and you see the sparks that fly up into the sky. Some go higher than others. But what's the bottom line? The bottom line is that they are gone in a moment's time. And that is the same with our life. They will be gone in a moment's time. Take a few seconds and think about eternity. Take a few seconds and think about ongoing eternity. No clock, no calendar, no 24-hour day. Close your eyes. Everyone close your eyes. Think about eternity. Forever and ever and ever and ever. You can open your eyes. It's mind-blowing. You sing the 4th verse of Amazing Grace, and it says, when we've been there 10,000 years, 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we will have no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. You know what the great truth about this song is? You could replace the word thousand. You could replace the word thousand with million, or billion, or trillion, or even Google. Who can tell me what Google means, the number Google? You mean keep going? Keep going? Who can tell me what the literal meaning of Google is? Caleb?
1 with 100 zeros.
one with 100 zeros. When we've been there 10 Google years, bright shining as the sun, we will have no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. When you realize that you will spend over 10 Google years in eternity, your life becomes a mist and a vapor and the blink of an eye and the snap of a finger. This world is not my home. I'm just passing through. My treasures are laid up somewhere beyond the blue. Oh Lord, you know I have no friend like you. If heaven's not my home, then Lord, what will I do? Now, although these songs are not part of Scripture, they are so true. This world is not our home, and we are just passing through. And my friends, here's where it ties in. Solomon, at the end of his life, gets the reality. He grasps it. And he sounds an alarm to following generations to not put your hope and desires in this world. Just like a man who's traveling down a dead-end street, and he gets to the end, and he says, there's nothing here. And as he returns, he sees cars traveling down that road, and he says, don't go down the road. It leads to nothing. It is a dead-end street. My friend Solomon went down the dead-end lot farther than anyone, and he will testify to the fact that nothing is satisfying in this world. The stud, the wise man, the ruler, the most popular man, the epitome of success has come to the conclusion that this world and all that it has to offer is meaningless. He lived to be 80 years old and he has been dead for 3,000 years. Where is his wealth now? Where are the riches that he accumulated? Where is his wisdom and popularity? They are in the grave. They are 6 feet underground. Listen to this quote by Jeremy Taylor. God hath given man a short time on earth, yet upon this short time, eternity depends.